Hi everyone, I'm Vasin, Creative Director at Shuka Design. Today, I'm joined by Ana Butrym, Brand Psychologist, Creative Strategy Director and Partner at Shuka, and the visionary behind Flower AI People. With a background in mathematics, psychology, branding, and AI art, Ana explores the intersection of human identity and machine creativity using tools like Sora.
Thank you for the warm intro, Ivan. This project started as an experiment, a simple question. Can a brand identity be promptable? Is it possible to create an identity that machines like Sora can consistently understand and generate? I've tested a few platforms, but for me, Sora stands out in terms of usability and effectiveness, especially when it comes to translating brand guidelines into visual outputs. I began by uploading a one-pager brand guide, not ours, just one available online, and combining it with a short, clear prompt describing the brand and a specific campaign asset. I tried this across various brands, ones we're working with and others that are widely known. Surprisingly, the results varied, even among equally famous brands. Some identities were far more effective than others.
So the experiment wasn't about generating something cool, it was about seeing how well a brand's identity can be understood by AI.
Exactly. For instance, I tested the plant-based milk category. I asked GPT to list the top 10 brands, then used the same method to prompt visuals for each one using Sora. Oddly enough, or perhaps not, Oatly came out on top. Not because it has a simple identity. On the contrary, it's quirky, expressive, and rather complex. Yet Sora interpreted it incredibly well, producing everything from outdoor ads to t-shirts, packaging, and even landing pages.
That's fascinating, but here is the big question. Where do brand archetypes come into play? And does this kind of variety go against the principle of brand consistency?
It's a great question. What we found is that archetypes, those 12 timeless brand personas, are actually natively understood by AI platforms. ChatGPT, for example, has responded to archetypal language from the start. Midjourney only got better at it from version 7. And Sora, being part of the same OpenAI ecosystem, understands archetypes surprisingly well. You can literally write, in the style of a sage archetype, or design this like a rebel archetype, and the AI generates results aligned with those emotional tones and relevant visuals.
So in this test, were you able to determine Oatly's archetype based on the visuals?
Yes, and that's the magic of reverse engineering. We usually define the archetype first when building the brand platform. But here, I started with the prompt and observed the results. The set that looked most like Oatly's real-world visuals came when I prompted for a rebel archetype. Even though Oatly never explicitly defines itself as a rebel, the tone, the design, the packaging, it all clicks when viewed through that lens.
So instead of asking a client what their archetype is, you could generate a mood board for each and ask, which one feels more like you?
Exactly. It's especially helpful for clients who struggle with abstract concepts like mission or vision. Show them 12 archetypal visual directions for the same campaign idea, and the conversation becomes tangible. It's a powerful co-creation tool. And yes, this same method works with text and voice too. I've generated body copy with GPT and voice with 11 Labs that reflect the archetype's tone. You can craft a voice that embodies the brand's personality traits, values, and emotional tone, whether it's authoritative, friendly, innovative, or something more expressive, like sparkles and mysticism for the magician, or warm, maternal vibes for the caregiver.
That's a lot of creative leverage, but how much control do you really have? Can you guide things like typography or layout yet?
You can, to a degree, but that's where things get tricky. From my experiments, image style, photography tone, and even packaging visuals are easier for AI to replicate than complex logos or custom typography. If your logo has overlapping letters like Zara or complex lettering like Coca-Cola, AI won't get it right unless it's already a famous logo. But if you're creating a startup from scratch and keep the design smart and simple, your identity can be highly promptable from day one.
So We're talking about AI-friendly branding, identities that machines understand, reuse, and elevate in the algorithmic system. Is that the new benchmark?
Yes, especially for startups. If your MVP will evolve, why lock yourself into a costly visual identity now, only to outgrow it in 6 months? With a promptable brand identity, you get flexibility and consistency at a fraction of the cost, and you can execute it yourself or with a prompt engineer, not a full creative team.
So the designer's role shifts from craftsperson to creative director, guiding the narrative, shaping emotions, and steering the storytelling.
Completely. Craft will always matter, especially in production, but the higher value creative skills are about strategic storytelling. The next generation of designers should think more like creative directors, with a command of both AI tools and brand psychology.
Thank you, Anna, for such a thoughtful and inspiring deep dive. To everyone listening, are we looking at the future of branding or just a clever visual experiment? Would love to hear your thoughts, and let's keep the conversation going.